Furious Road Survivor has a lot of potential, but having a lot of potential doesn't always mean being a good game. Hey everybody, what's up? Ultramag64 here, and this is my review of Furious Road Survivor for iOS and Android. From the get-go, Furious Road Survivor wears its influences on its sleeve. It says it in its title, Furious Road. It's a Mad Max-style car combat game, and it uses a voxel isometric graphic style similar to Crossy Roads. And honestly, Crossy Roads is what I'd compare this to. It's a game where you're going to die a lot, and throughout each level you'll find canisters of oil which you can then use to get more cars and more weapons. However, you can also buy said cars and weapons. Now, I was able to get a few cars in my limited time of play, and I have to say that the game only became fun once I got a heavy car that could deal damage and also was slow enough for me to be able to control properly. And that's the one thing I will say about Furious Roads, is that the controls aren't bad, but they're not exactly good either. You use the right and left sides of the screen to control your car, and unfortunately, once you get stuck on terrain or get hit by an enemy, you're kinda stuck. And because of that, more often than not, you're going to lose. A lot. I never felt like I was getting any better at Furious Roads. I just felt like most of the time it was luck, not skill. And I had no idea what the skulls meant when I first started the game. I have deduced that they're my threat level, which I have no idea how it rises. Also, the bandit enemies just come out of nowhere. Literally. You don't have to do anything, they'll just come to you. Which can sometimes be frustrating, especially when you're trying to find oil. Having to deal with them trying to dodge not only their bullets, but also their cars trying to T-bone you every chance they get. And without any indication of health whatsoever, I had no idea how many hits my car could take. Regardless of the size or build of your car, it seems like they all have the same amount of hit points. But that's not to say the cars don't control differently. I found that the smaller, faster cars were good at getting enough speed up from the get-go. However, the bigger, heavier cars seemed easier to control. Speaking of cars, you can also buy any car in the game, or any weapon, which I'm a little concerned about. It seems like you can just buy power. Granted, I wasn't able to buy any of the cars, but it just seems like you could basically buy the best weapon and the best car, and then the game would become a cakewalk. Another issue I have is with the way you get cars. Basically what you have to do is collect oil, and then use 100 oil for a slot machine raffle where you get a car. But the way you collect oil is a little bit tedious. You have to find barrels that you can hardly ever get to, strewn about the level. They're so small and hard to get to, along with the unintuitive controls, it becomes a bit of a chore trying to collect any oil. However, you do get a daily bonus each time you log into the game, although I will say I would like to see them revamp this system. Instead of just having random oil drums scattered about the level, why not instead take an infinite runner approach? Maybe setting slight small goals within each level, such as kill 5 enemies, get to a certain speed, or survive for a certain amount of time, rewarding you with oil. I feel like this would erase a lot of the tedium and grinding involved in getting cars and weapons. I also feel like maybe you need to revamp your controls as well, since like I said, there's no real good way to back up in the game. Maybe holding down both sides of the screen would allow you to manually back up wherever you go. In closing, I'm sad to say that I didn't enjoy my time with Furious Road Survivor. It's a game with a lot of potential, and I feel like if they changed a few things, this game would become a much more enjoyable game for me personally. The tedium and needless grinding outweigh any type of fun I could have with this game, and that's a real shame since I really like the premise and the graphical style. I feel like it's trying too hard to imitate Crossy Roads in some respects, or another game called Crashy Roads. I feel like if they took a lot of the aesthetics and unique style this game has and applied it to the gameplay style, they'd have quite the game on their hands. However, the game is free, and it has no advertisements in the game, so long as you don't want any bonus oil. But anyway guys, that is my review for Furious Roads Survivor. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a fantastic day. If you want to check out Furious Road Survivor, then there's a link in the description down below for the iOS and Android versions. But anyway guys, I'll catch you in the next review. Bye-bye.